My next show.
Mr. Black Coffee's in the building, people. Oi, oi!
That's a nice wordplay.
You can tell I've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, good to have you, man. Good
Thanks
to
for
have
having
you,
me, guys.
Man. Yeah, of course.
It's been a
man.
while. I was in Newcastle on Friday. Then I came here yesterday and traveling around. Then I caught a bit of flu. And so I confirmed this. And then today I'm thinking, maybe I'm going to cancel. And then you tweet. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The power of social media.
He just told everyone. So I have to come.
Yeah, no, man. Thanks a lot, man, bro, for
Thank you,
coming
man.
through.
Thanks for having me.
I always remember that moment when I came to the studio when we're doing a documentary, the house that Africa built.
Yes, sir.
And you're actually programming the drums for your new album, and I could hear little snippets of it.
Man.
Yeah, man. That was amazing. Because I almost recorded it and put it out before you put it out. That's like, man.
You almost licked it.
I know. That's my moment. So, like, the early steps of Black Coffee, I mean, how did you get into what you do right now?
I was just always curious, about music more than anything. I was one of those kids who were in every choir, every group. I was in a gospel choir. I was in the school choir. We had like a small quartet at school. It's a gospel quartet, but then if there's girls around, it becomes boys to men. Anything that had to do with music, I was always involved in. And all the way, in school, I was in a music class, and when I finished high school, went to college. I went to a music school, but I didn't really know what I was gonna do. I just knew that I loved music production more than anything. So I wanted to learn more about production, and so I was doing all these other things like film scoring, arranging, music theory, all these other things. They didn't really interest me. I wanted to learn more about production, and that's how I got into production.
Yeah. So, because I was speaking to a very good friend of mine from your ends. It goes by the name of Kulo.
Oh, yes, man. Yes.
Kulo.
Kulo.
And he's like, house music to South Africans is like football to Brazilians.
Yes. No, even to United Kingdom. Yeah. You guys love football here as much.
Yeah.
That's how it is. Everyone is involved.
Yeah.
So everyone, like kids and adults, and like everyone is involved in it.
So from choir to trying to impress girls singing Boys to Men, when did Black Coffee come, and how did that name come about? It's a very unique name.
It is quite a unique name, and
I'd expect that from East Africa, because we grow coffee.
I know,
in South Africa.
I know. Yeah. Actually, a friend of mine from Zambia used to call me that.
I see.
Yeah, and it wasn't DJ related, it was more of my skin complexion thing.
Okay.
And one day I thought I really need a DJ name, and I thought it's here. It's always been there, so it works, man. It works everywhere. So
yeah. So you've been putting out tracks since then, production. I'm just wondering what kind of sound or a song in particular made you think that, that's the Black Coffee sound? Because you have a very unique style that you...
It's a very tricky question. Before I did my album, I just spent a lot of time making music just for myself, like remixes. Like I would hear a song on radio and just take it and do my own remix to DJ, and for me that was like a school. I was just like kind of like teaching myself. Like it was more like ear training, making sure I get the key right. And at first I used to ask a friend of mine to play the keys for me because he was a keyboard player, and then I started learning to put the keys myself. But I would ask him if the keys are cool, Yeah. I wasn't sure. I would ask him, is the key okay? And over time I just kept trying. And eventually, I did this one song called Happiness that I also written vocals for. And I played it for DJ Christos and Vinny, who were working on an album. They were like, wow, we're going to release this. You know, so that's how it started.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of time spent in studio.
Yeah. And part of it is because I remember when I came to South Africa, they were also talking about there was a song that had a bit of copyright problems, but it was one of the big, I mean...
That was the moment.
Yeah, was that the moment?
That was the moment. Because anything that I felt could be house, I would take it. You know, and one of the songs I took then was Simpio Dana's song called Ndireti, and she was new. She was so fresh. The album was really amazing. And so I did a remix, obviously, on my own. And,
of course.
And then I gave it to a couple of friends, and one of the guys I gave it to was on radio. And he put it on radio. And it just became so huge, but she hated the song so much because she didn't know how it got there. She didn't know the guy who produced the song.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So a week later, I get a call from a record company. Carlo Music. Yeah, like, come, we need to see you.
Yeah.
I walk in, they put me in this boardroom in suits. No one's laughing, and they're like, so where's the money? You know, I'm like, what's going on? They're like, no, I mean, what are you doing with this song? How much money have you made? I was like, no. I was just doing this for fun, and it wasn't even meant to be out, and you know, that's it. But it was on papers, man. It was everywhere.
Yeah, so I you know, earlier you sent me, I know your album is out, Pieces of Me, and we're gonna play Come With Me, featuring MQUE. I'm guessing that's MQ, because you know South Africa, the clicks.
It's
I don't know
MQ.
where they come from.
Yeah, it's MQ.
MQ.
It's MQ, yeah.
So how did this come about, and what inspired this song?
I had 12 songs on the album, and initially this song I was producing it for another friend of mine, and then I had a problem with one song, but I hadn't started working on this song, and we were about to release the album. I remember I was connecting flights from Frankfurt to South Africa, and the record label was waiting. I was late already, and so I decided on my way back, I had to work on this song. By the time I land, make sure it's done, so I could submit the song. So I did that, and I didn't even speak to the guy I was doing a song for first.
Yeah.
So I worked on it, you know, before the plane landed, and I could get signal on my phone.
Yeah.
I was on the phone with him. I'm like, there's a problem, man. You know that song you gave me to produce?
Yeah.
Can I use it for my album instead? You know, he was like, I'll think about it. You know, so it wasn't meant to be on my album initially.
Okay.
You know, and he came through. He was like, it's cool. You know, do it, go for it. You know, and it's one of the most amazing. It was such a blessing for me to have this song on my album.
Yeah,
because I feel it belongs in the album as well.
Interesting what happens when you bend the rules a bit. You know, you steal the song.
Also, you know,
you
like,
take the phone and call before the plane taxis.
You know? Like for me, it's also it proves how cool it is to be nice. Because I was working on my album. I could have said no, I'm busy.
Yeah, true.
You know, so I was nice to him, and I said, okay, bring it. You know, like I'll make time. And in the end, it saved me. You know.
So, the song in the background.
Turn Me On.
What did that? Yeah, you said that exactly. Turned a lot of people on in the UK.
Ooh la la.
What did this song do for you?
I think this is the song that launched me in the UK. People paid a lot of attention to my production, my work because of this song. I remember it was even featured on a movie that was shot here called Another Hood, comedy that I really, really like. And we got an email saying, no, we're doing a movie, we'd like to include this song. It was something so big for us, you know. It just showed how much. I remember, once I got a phone call from someone saying, hi, Black Coffee, I'd like to do an interview with you. I said, okay, cool. What time? They said, no, tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. I'm like, okay. Where? They're like, yeah, in studio. I'm in South Africa, and the studio is in London.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, I'm in South Africa. They're like, we thought you live in London.
Yeah,
that's how much presence, man.
Yeah, they thought it was Funky House.
Yeah. It had so much presence. Yeah.
Which brings me to the energy that comes out of South Africa when it comes to house. You guys program drums in such a way that gives it such a there's a feel. I mean, how is it done? Because it's how do you come about that formula?
I don't know, man. Like even young producers, like I get songs every week. I'm like so blown away. Some of the music, some of them they lack the musicality, but the direction and the programming of drums, all the songs could be so huge. There's just something we have. I mean, the rhythm. Even like this song was playing. This is like the simplest drum pattern. For a while, I wasn't happy with it. I'm like, I should have done, better.
Sorry, I'm upsetting you now, huh?
No.
It's like when you watch it, when it's Thursday and it's Throwback Thursday and you see your photographs, you're like, my parents should have put me in better clothes before they took my photos.
It happens with me with some of the songs that I've worked on like a long time ago, and people are like, oh, that song. I'm like, yeah, it's cool, but inside I'm like, it's not finished, but it's a rhythm. I don't even think it's a South African thing, we're getting songs from Mozambique, from Angola, from Botswana. Yeah. Guys are like really, really doing amazing things.
Yeah, but I get the music from there, and we go to clubs. In fact, we just came from Body Satva's night last night.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And it was, man.
And Body brings it, man.
Yeah, Body brings it, man. He dances, he does the whole thing, man. Yeah. Shout out to Body.
Yeah.
So for those who have never experienced a black coffee party or never come to see you to play, what kind of things would they expect?
I don't know. I consider myself like an artist. I work on a set. My sets, they have the beginning and the middle and the end. No matter what songs I'm going to play, I always try to present my set in such a way. So I can never just walk into a room with all the new music and just start dropping songs I don't even know. Okay. For me, I listen to the songs, I understand them, because when I understand them and know them, I'm able to present the songs, I'm able to play the songs for the people, highlight certain things that they couldn't maybe hear, So I'm a very technical DJ. I'm a very active DJ. I don't just press play and and wait for the song to, I'm an active DJ, so it's quite an active experience. But for me, UK is a very special place, man. Like I said, Turn Me On, I think, to be very honest, it became bigger in the UK than it was in South Africa. Because as much as house music is big in South Africa, it gets a bit commercial at times, So Turn Me On is not a commercial track at all.
Yeah.
So they didn't pick up on it at all. They picked up on other songs, but here, even Superman in South Africa, only later they started catching up with it. They didn't get the song for a while. They went for other songs. So when I do music, I think of this place, and I'm actually working on an album now. I want to work with a couple of people from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, the UK.
Yes.
I can rap, yeah.
Oh yeah?
Nah. Don't mind me.
In what language?
In Swahili.
Asante.
Yeah. Hakuna Matata. Safari. So definitely.
I can also rap in Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki, really? Honda.
Sony. Nah, it's not. Sorry. So, what has been the most amazing place you've DJed? You've been around the world, done Barefest. We just come from one in Newcastle, and it's definitely not the one in Newcastle because you caught a cold from that one. So I'm sure that's not on the bottom of the
Brixton, 26th March.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. Sold out show.
I came to it and the queue was around the corner and I couldn't get in.
That's how amazing that show was.
Yes.
Yeah, it was really special, man.
Yeah.
I think most of my special shows, really. There's another one I did with Mixmag. I played like a 3 hour set. It's online. And it has over like 1 million views. And
I know that set very well because we were DJing somewhere a couple of weeks ago, and the guy in the club was actually playing it off.
There you go.
Off the internet.
That's yeah. This place is very special to me, man. Yeah. I'm not just saying that because I'm here. This place connects with what I do so much. So it is. I mean, today I was playing on the main stage at 2:55.
Yeah.
And when I walked on stage, there was literally maybe like 5-10 people. When I walked in, and I kept playing and looking up, By the time I was done, I don't know, maybe like 8,000-10,000 people were there.
You see?
This is a very special place for me.
And your music is very special music because we have a legendary DJ in the studio called DJ Kofi.
How did his name come about?
He's Ghanaian. Kofi.
Oh, yeah.
You see. So he was at a DMC kind of showcase thing, where DJs are scratching.
Yeah, I know the DMC.
Yeah, so everyone was like showing off and, showcasing stuff. And he was like, you know what? These kids are so technical now. I'll play house music. I'd given him some stuff. At the end of the night, everyone was at his stage.
There you go.
That's how influential this music is.
Yes,
it's
man.
really like...
Yes, man.
And
I just feel it needs like such platforms.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's been too much on the ground, and it also just needs to be protected. That we don't really follow what everyone's doing. We stay in our lane. Just make sure we get more exposure. You see it on TV. You've seen the stuff Disclosure is doing.
Yeah.
It is mainstream, but it's still very sensible. It's still, very beautiful. And, I think it's time it gets to that level.
Yeah. And I kind of found you very cultured and very stubborn when it comes to your sound and the things you want to achieve with this sound. Are you like a flagship barrier for this music? Do you carry the flag? Or is it one of those things you only work with stuff that you actually feel?
I have to feel it, man. The way I like putting it, I choose to fight battles I can win. They always say you're as good as your last work. So I can, no matter how, like I've had opportunities so many times. I was given a Macy Gray song to remix, which is so huge for me. 2010, the World Cup, I was like, no. Like
Zanzi remix.
Yeah, like Universal Music in South Africa was freaking out. Like, dude, you said you want to be international. This is your time. I'm like, no, can we please have another song? Yeah. And fortunately, they gave me another song, which came out well. I've been given stuff. I've been recently even Justin Bieber stuff. I'm like, no. For me, it must resonate with what I do,
In the words,
then it will come out well. Yeah. I'll be proud of it.
In the words of Justin Bieber, what do you mean? What do you mean? It's Justin Bieber, bro.
Yeah, man, I know.
Yeah.
But unfortunately. Yeah.
So a lot of people are getting to know about you now. But I know that you've been hustling from time, even before they appreciated you in South Africa.
Yeah, man.
What would you like to tell some of the up-and-coming producers who are trying to kind of get into the game now, from wherever they are? Just, but obviously your journey and what they should look out for.
I think, if you're interested in anything, you need to know about it. You need to know who's great in it. You need to study those people, study what they do, how they do it. How can you be better, or rather, how can you be different from what they're doing? That's why today there's Apple and Microsoft. Don't try to emulate and imitate what they're doing, because you're just going to be another guy who plays like, just spend time in your craft. And when like, okay, this is how he does this. Okay, let me change it and do it this way. For me, it applies in everything, not just in music. Like I cringe at guys who come to me and say, yo, man, like you just did, I rap. So You know,
really.
like
I'll
I'm
try.
like, dude,
I'm also a DJ.
Like-
you know.
why don't you talk to like Kanye West? Like, you know, it just means people are not researching. People are not, you know. I even prefer a guy who says, I know you're gonna love this song. It's your style. Then you have my attention. You know what I mean? Because it means you check what I do. You know what I'm likely to like. You know what I mean? So it's just spending time in your craft, man. You know, spend as much time in it as possible, so that when that day comes and you're given a platform, you're ready.
And you know what we'll do when you get the platform?
Yeah.
You done the right joint.
Yeah.
We dance again.
There you go.
It's hands down the best remix.
Look, you get
Of the song.
a request to do a remix for Alicia Keys. You freak out, and they're like, we need a remix. Cool. I did 3 different versions because I didn't want to drop the ball. I'm like, I'm not gonna send one, and they say, nah, we're not feeling it.
Yeah.
So I did 3, and then I wasn't confident about the third one, so I sent 2, so they can choose.
Yeah.
And no word. Week later, no word. 2 weeks later, no word. That they don't like it. And then we get an email. Can you please resend the song? It's expired. They never downloaded it. You know, so we wait again.
Alicia Keys.
We wait again, and then they chose this one. And for me, this one is the one because I felt like the original was trying to be this.
Yeah, I felt so. I didn't like the original.
I felt it was trying to be like a South African, like a typical South African house song.
Yeah.
That's why I did 2 versions, because the other version is not so South African.
Yeah, I
you
see
know.
what you
And they love this one, and then I love it too.
Yeah. Nah, but for me, it was absolutely amazing. Speaking of females, there's a female DJ Vizda who says, "Do you have any advice for upcoming female DJs?"
I have a problem when female DJs call themselves female DJs. I have a problem with young DJs calling themselves upcoming DJs, because in a bigger scope, next to David Guetta, I am an upcoming DJ too. So I could call myself that, you know, in the bigger scheme of things. So I think the right approach starts there. Like, you are a DJ, you know, and the rules apply to everyone, you know. Just know your story, you know, spend so much time. If it's this one thing that you love, spend so much time on it, so that when one day a DJ doesn't pitch in a club and you get a call and there's 5,000 in the room, people waiting, you can handle it.
Sure.
You know, not as a female, but as a DJ, you know. That's it.
Yeah. Cool, man. This is an amazing remix. We've heard the story of how it came about. How do you pick the people you work with? Because you're very particular about who you work with.
It's more of a tone thing, you know. I don't know how to explain it. It's never.
How is my tone? Would I make if I sent you
spoken word?
Oh man.
And you're quite good with words, man. So I can use it on an intro. You know,
I'm the skit guy. Can you believe it? I am the skit guy. On Black Coffee's next album, you heard it here. I am the skit guy.
So for me, it's a tone thing. Like, it's never about the name per se. Like on Pieces of Me, there's a girl called Azola who sent me an email with the voice note. She sang the song on her phone, and she sent me the voice note. And she's like, I've never been in studio. I wrote this song while I was in high school, and it just sounded right. And I loved it so much that immediately I downloaded the song. I took it to studio. As rough as it was, I started working on it, you know, and then brought it in studio like 2-3 months later to record it. So for me, it's same with Booyah, on the previous album with Doshi. Doshi sent me songs, and I was like, what a voice, you know. And later it's studio, and, you know, for me it's a tone thing. I can't really explain it. It's never about who's the biggest artist now, and I want to work with them. You know, it's the vibe, it's the tone thing.
Yeah, it's a vibe still, isn't it, Kofi? It's a vibe.
Yeah, man.
So I'm seeing
you have a good vibe with words, man.
intro skits. As you notice, we didn't ask you to do a mix because I know you've done mixes. You've just come off tour. But people are asking, when are you going to do a mix for the show?
Oh my gosh.
You know
what?
In your own time.
No. How long do you want it?
Producer. 30 minutes. Producer says 30 minutes. It's not enough.
It's short. But
okay.
An hour is cool.
Yeah,
I'm going to do a mix on Tuesday.
You heard it here.
I'm doing a mix on Tuesday. I'm going to send it to the show and you'll have the mix.
There you go. This guy is such a nice guy, man. This guy is such a nice guy. And I'm nice too. That's why I'm making the album.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Black Coffee. Thank you very much for coming through and for repping the motherland. So make some noise for Black Coffee, man.
For carrying African music, man. This is one of the most important shows for us. You know, this is why I had to come, flew or not. It's one of the most important shows for all of us on the continent.
We have way too much in common for you not to come to the show. I'm just being honest. Let's jump into this. It's the remix. Alicia Keys, Black Coffee. Make some noise for Black Coffee. Hey, hey.